Hi, Tom and Dan here at Sharpening Supplies, and today we are going to be talking about Japanese waterstones. So, Dan, what are Japanese waterstones?
Well, Japanese waterstones, as a class, they are stones that are really well known for sharpening fast, going to very fine grits, getting really excellent edges. Um, they are, as the name implies, used with water and mostly made in Japan.
And what makes them different?
The water part is part of what makes them different.
Okay.
So these aren't used with oil, they're used with water. And you need to use them with water. Some of them you have to soak until they're saturated before you can use them. So that means immersing them for 15 minutes or so. Others called splash and go. You can just get them wet and they're ready to go. And the other thing about them is that they're soft. These stones are made of little bits of grit held together in a binder, and as you use it, the binder is designed to break down. It's designed to let those little grits break free and roll around on the surface. And that's part of what makes them cut fast and polish well, but it's the first thing that most people are going to notice when they work with a Japanese waterstone.
And so why is it people will notice that softness?
As the particles break free, they mix with the water, and you often get a slurry on top of the stone, kind of a muddy mixture of the water and the grit. And all of them do it, some to a greater extent, some to a lesser extent, but they all do it to some extent. And that's a very different kind of feel than most people are used to. And then also that softness means that they wear quickly, they can dish and cup as you use them.
Okay.
So you have to use a stone like this and frequently surface your water stone to keep the surface of the water stone flat as you use it.
And then what Japanese stones do we carry here at Sharpening Supplies? Looks like we've got quite a few.
We've got quite a selection here. So we have three main companies. We have Naniwa, we have Shapton, and we have Suehiro.
Cool. And what can you tell me about the ranges within each of those companies?
So the Naniwa line, great line. They've got a wide selection. There's something for everybody here, whether you're looking for kind of an entry level or a top-end stone. They've got options for you. So starting with their traditional line of stone, these are soaking stones. They cut well, wear pretty well, give nice feel when you're using them, and they're decent priced. These are really popular with beginners looking to get a set, kind of economically. Very nice to work with. And then we have their super stones. And this is a same stone, but it's available in two different widths, a thinner one and a thicker one. The thinner one won't last as long, but it's, again, more economical if you're looking for kind of a light-duty stone. But the super stones, these are splash and go. You just get them wet and they're ready to go. It's a big convenience over the soaking. These are very popular stones. They're very hard as water stones go. So you do need to flatten them, but not as much, not as often. You sacrifice a little bit of cutting speed and feedback for that feature, but still very nice stones to work with. These go to very high grits, 12,000 grit, and are really popular with people looking for high-end polishing. The high-end grits in this line are very good. And then, moving up kind of the premier, the professional stone. The professional stone, this is a great stone. This is an excellent balance of feedback. It's got a great feel when you use it. Cuts very fast, but it also wears well. So you're going to get a little better feedback than you'd get from the super stones with the professional. Also pretty slow wearing and definitely fast cutting. This line is definitely aimed at professionals, but a lot of home users like it too. This isn't quite a splash and go. This one's kind of unique. With the professional stones, you have to get it wet, maybe splash it a few times over the course of a minute or so, but definitely not meant to be soaked. And they're pricey stones, but they're very good quality. Goes up to a 10,000 grit. Really good stones.
So even though they're a little bit more expensive, they wear slower, so you're going to get more use out of it.
You're going to get a very long life out of that stone.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Naniwa has many other things, but a couple examples. They have a couple kind of one-off stones, not part of a greater line. So this is the Paku, if my pronunciation is anywhere near close, known often as the Snow White. So this was originally part of an earlier edition of the traditional line. Okay, and when they changed the line, many people really wanted this stone because they just loved the feel of this stone and it gives great polishing. So Naniwa brought it back. So it's an 8,000 grit soaking stone. A lot of people really like this one as kind of a finishing, polishing stone. And then you have this one, nice, thick, heavy, massive stone. This is called, again, if my Japanese is okay, Aotoishi, often known in the U.S. as the green brick of joy.
Okay.
You can see it is a brick. This is a 2,000 grit soaking stone. The thickness, this is meant to just, you don't need to worry about replacing this stone anytime soon.
Right.
This stone is very popular with people who like to have kind of a 1 or 2 stone setup. They like to keep things really simple. It's kind of a very middle grit. It's not going to resharpen a knife that's really, really dull, but if you're doing maintenance sharpening, this can be a really good one. So that's a very popular one. And then we'd have Shapton. Shapton is another line. They have kind of 3 main lines within their brand. So we've got the professional, Kurumaku professionals. And these are unmounted stones. They come loose. You can use either side. They come in a case that can also be used as a working holder. It's very handy. Got a pretty wide range of grits. These go up to 30,000 grit.
30,000.
30,000. So they go very, very fine. As fine as you'd ever need. These are kind of similar in feel to the Naniwa professionals. They're good feedback, good wear rate, good cutting speed. Not quite as expensive, but that's a very good stone line there, the professionals.
And are the professionals, they soakers, are they splash or go?
They are splash and go.
Okay.
Yeah. All of the Shapton ones are splash and go. And then they have, what they're very well known for are their glass stones. And the reason these are called glass stones is because the layer of abrasive, the white part there, is mounted to a glass plate. And the idea here is that the glass plate stabilizes the abrasive. So you can use this down to a paper-thin layer, and the glass will support it. So in effect, this stone will last about as long as that stone,
right,
because of that supporting feature. And these stones, widest range of grits that I've got, from 120 up to 30,000 again. Very nice feel, good feedback, fast cutting speed, slow wear rate. As I said, they're splash and go. These are some very nice stones. They have a subset of these that are meant for high carbon knives. 3 grits, a 4,000, a 6,000, or an 8,000.
And are those are the HC?
Yeah, those are the HC.
Yeah.
These are the HR.
Okay.
Yeah, the HC. We'll go with that. I'm sorry. Okay, and then we have the G7. Now, these are basically the same as the glass stones, but obviously in a smaller size. Very much meant for kind of just knife sharpening. But these are really cool. They come in a kit with this very nice base. Very handy. You can just pop it in here. They come with their own dedicated diamond flattening stone as well. You can buy the stones individually, or as I said, they're part of this kit. Again, they go up to 30,000 grit. So with Shapton, you'll never need to find a finer stone. Finally, we've got Suehiro, down here in the end. So we have a few different things. One that's very well known is the Syrax line. This is a line of soaking stones. They're really regarded as giving the performance of a more expensive splash and go, but in a less expensive soaking stone, especially the 1000 grit in this line. They also have a double-sided combination version of the Syrax, where you get 2 grits and 1. And as you can see, this is kind of on a plastic base there. I have an example here. They have this ingenious kind of base system that can not only store, but you turn it up and you now have your working plate. So Syrax has got some kind of different stones from the other lines. Suehiro, pardon me. They also have their SNE Debato line. This is a splash and go line that is also mounted on bases like this. And they also have their Debato MD line. These are soaking stones. And the interesting feature on these is the size. If I grab a pretty standard size stone here, you can see there's a lot more surface area on the Debato MD. So these are really popular with anyone who needs a lot of surface area.
And what is the dimensions of this stone, do you know?
It is about 9 inches long and almost 4 wide.
Okay. Just to put you on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to look it up, but it's definitely the standard kind of waterstone size is 8 1/4 long by about 2 3/4 wide. Okay. This one is closer to 9 by over 3. So yeah, so between Naniwa and Shapton and Suehiro, we have lots of options for you. There'll be something that you could find to fit your budget and your need.
Excellent. And can people mix and match between these, or do you recommend sticking within one brand?
You can absolutely mix and match.
Brilliant.
Yeah, if you find that you like the polishing characteristics of the S2 and the 12,000 grit, but you prefer the feel of maybe the professional in the lower end of the grit range, or even one of the other brands, yeah, commonly done. I often do recommend beginners kind of stay within one line, right, just until they get kind of a feel for it. Yeah. But then after that, yep, mix and match to your heart's content.
Excellent. And so all of these and more are available at sharpeningsupplies.com, so feel free to go there and check it out.